Hi there. So this is a suggestion for developers. Right now, currently, we got
Your top
reports
tower
for the
is under
incorrect
attack.
role to be used before the game starts. So like I think a minute after the game starts is the last time when you can report a player for the incorrect role. So what it implements, to my understanding, is that if a player picks something moronic for the lane that he is playing, let's say he's playing hard carry and he picks like Crystal Maiden. Let's say he's playing hard support and he picks an entity mage, that kind of stuff. So my suggestion would be is to make it after the game as a separate report, because let's imagine right now a Crystal Maiden that a regular support, so you wouldn't report Crystal Maiden, a regular support as it should be, but then she entire game, so like let's say she gets level 2, maybe level 3 in the lane, like then she just goes jungle and jungles for the entire game, or like let's say 15 minutes straight. And I actually have just seen a Overwatch replay literally like this. And then all she does is just farming her items wherever she wants. Maybe like Daedalus, Moonshard, Black and Baron, whatever. She's not even like trying to farm supportive items that can support their players, like let's say Soil Crest, Glimmer, Force Staff. She's literally going hard carry, um, even though she picked hard support. And then like this player, we should be able to report that kind of a player. But then why would we report a Storm? Like let's say you get a hard support Storm, so your instant reaction, dude, this guy is game ruining. What is he doing? Right. So if there would be no report in the beginning, but in later the game, this guy could have shown you that he's actually quite useful. That he can get some useful items and help the team. Because let's say Aghanim Scepter is literally like an AOE stun. Then the shard provides very powerful buff for the allies. In the lane, Storm got a lot of damage from the passive, from the what's it called, Static Remnant, and then he got also a stun, so he can harass. In the level one, let's say Storm level one, great hero Storm. Like level one Storm has 5 armor, guys, so he has literally no items. Right now, he's not under effect of any buff, so he has a 5 armor and 620 health at level one. Let's say I'm gonna make Crystal Maiden. Create hero Crystal. She has 1 armor, 47 damage, 560 health. Compared to Storm level 1, 54 damage, 5 armor, 620 health. And then CM is able to use like 2 skills, so 140 mana for the Frostbite. She's gonna use 2 skills, and that's it. She's done. Storm can put around 3 remnants. He has a stun that costs only 60 mana and duration 1.4 seconds. Like later on, he doesn't really have to like be a hardcore. He can actually be played as a hard support. Like let's say the dude's gonna buy Glimmer Cape, Force Stuff, Evil Scepter, Lincoln Sphere. Like you can say like Lincoln Sphere is not really a hard support item, but it is if you would actually try to put it all the time on your allies. So from one side you're gonna get the mana regeneration, some stats. From other side you actually will have protect your carries from instant initiation from the enemies, right? And then once again, like Aghanim Scepter AoE, the Shard is great buff, very useful hero, can initiate fights himself as a hard support, can get away and not feed. Like let's say CM is being attacked, he's like almost certainly gonna die. If a Storm is gonna get attacked since level 6, he has some great chance of surviving, right? And then like that's kind of my problem here is that normally like 99.99% people would report a hard support Storm right away, and 99.99% people wouldn't report a Crystal Maiden if she picks Crystal Maiden on hard support, right? But then if Crystal Maiden is being played on hard support role, not as a hard support, and Storm is going to be played like as a hard support on a hard support role, but just a different hero, it doesn't mean it's bad. Like recently, I've just seen Poppy play Tide Hunter on the hard support. This was fucking awesome. Like, uh, this position 5 Tide has some survivability here, has some survivability AoE damage, and great damage reduction to the enemies. Has, like, in the lane, he can greatly punish enemies. 12-second cooldown, 4-second duration, 40% slow, armor reduction 4, damage 110. Like, it's fucking great. Like, actually. And then all he needs to do is just buy a blink. He buys a blink, he uses Ravage. He doesn't really have to tank or like get anything like as an offlane tide, but just buys a blink and he's gonna be a great help. And even as hard support, even if enemies will initiate on the guy, he's still like gonna survive probably and still be able to use Ravage because he got the Kraken Shell. And it's like this spell. Let's say an enemy stuns or silences and then attacks them, and he's gonna get dispelled, and he's gonna be able to use Ravage, and he's gonna be fine. And team can start off from that, right? Now, another thing just to mention to the players, guys, I'm really suggesting you to like be more open to the new meta. There are so many things that like you see. I'm always I'm playing a new like meta, the one that I make myself, and I'm not alone like this. Like it doesn't mean it's bad, but just people, if people have never seen something in their games or in pro scene, they consider it to be bad, and they don't even try to think if it's bad or not. They just report and mute, and then they entire game they're playing. Being very aggressive to the player that picked the hero because they think that the player is game ruining and he's not trying to win, but he's just like trying to lose the game. I don't know, like let's say Luna position 4. I've been picking Luna position 4 like 3 years from now, like ago. I mean, and then position 4 Luna. Right now, recently, like a month ago or 2 months ago, on the last major, I think like most of the Chinese teams were picking Luna as a support, and there is no much difference between current Luna and the one that was that back then. But actually, back then it was even better because Luna's passive was providing, I think, the armor too, not like damage, not straight damage, but like also armor and damage based on your stats, something like this. I'm not sure. Um, Aghanim Scepter still was an option. Then Lucent Beam, Eclipse, pretty much the same thing. I've been picking Luna, and I've been blamed for that, and people were mad at me because nobody picks Luna position 4, but I was. And I got reported for that many times, right? So, guys, please be more open to the new meta. Don't, like, at first, just consider. Maybe the guy isn't, like, trying to game ruin me. Maybe he's got a point, and the hero can actually be quite useful.